You can do it by trying to keep the inflows to pretty moderate levels and keeping them focused on areas where it really is very difficult to replicate the skills that we're bringing in. I mean, much of the reason for the value of migration, as my colleague was saying in the debate, is that we are historically very bad at training people, at investing in people, and we have very short-termist, very low-trust, transactional, financialised economic structure, and immigration is part of that in some ways, which is another reason why I think it's so wrong-headed of many people on the left to be so pro-immigration. It reinforces many of the worst failings of the British economy, and we're seeing that at the moment in nursing in London. I mean, there's been a huge cut in the number of training places for nurses, and we're just bringing in already trained nurses from Portugal and Spain and places where their health budget's being cut because of the Eurozone crisis, and that isn't really how we should be organising things.
I mean, the first thing to be decided is immigration beneficial? Does it contribute to economic growth? Does it contribute to prosperity? I think the answer to that is yes, it does. The next issue is how do we manage it well? How do we ensure that the issues which are bound to arise, and I think neither myself or my colleague on our side of the debate doubt at all that there are important policy issues about how do we address the issue of housing, how do we address the issue of access to schools for the children of immigrant families, but the one follows on. They don't belong together, in my view. First of all, you settle the one side of the question, is immigration good or not? And then if the answer is yes, it is, then you can go on to say, well, what are the problems that arise from it and how do we deal with those?
So for you, it's just a problem of management?
Yes, that's exactly what it is. It's that there is nothing fundamentally posed by the question of migration which presents an existential challenge to the existence of our society. Immigration has been underway for hundreds of years. It's been part of the woof and the weft. It's part of the history of the UK. It's part of the history of the world which the UK has played a major part in making. That's going to be the case in the future. We're not making a particularly good job of managing migration at the moment. We should concentrate on how we do that better rather than doubting the value of migration altogether.